Russian President Vladimir Putin and the top Russian officials must be punished for the forced abduction of children from the occupied territory of Ukraine. This is the conclusion reached by the participants of the debates of the European Parliament held on the December 19th in Strasbourg.
What we now see is madness. Russia has deported over 20,000 innocent children from Ukraine. As a mother of two, I wonder, what if it was my son? What if it was my daughter?
Speakers at the debate mentioned the warrant for the arrest of Vladimir Putin.
The deportation of children is a type of genocide. I therefore welcome the decision by the International Criminal Court, and I hope that all civilized people will do the same.
It is obvious that Putin is aimed to destroy the Ukrainian nation, and similar horrible events have already been in the history of Europe.
Transfer of Ukrainian children to Russia is a reminder of what happened in Poland in the Second World War. Thousands of Polish children were transferred by the German occupiers and Germanized in German families. Now the Russians are trying to Russify Ukrainian children.
The aim is to get children Russified and prepared to be adopted by Russian families. Putin is stopping at nothing to destroy Ukraine as a nation. One of the darkest pages of our history is repeating itself.
Some speakers suggested imposing sanctions on those countries that have obligations to the International Criminal Court but may refuse to extradite Putin.
There are some different kind of signals from South Africa, who should keep the BRICS meeting in August, and they're still shaking that, oh, maybe if the Putin will come, maybe we'll not arrest him. There has to be consequences by the EU and by the Commission if some of the member states of the ICC will not follow the arrest warrant. There has to come economic sanctions, and there has to be really the outcome that we will limit our own donations.
European MPs expressed their support for Ukraine. They are confident that the President of Russia and his close circle should be punished for the crimes against children. For their part, the deputies will do everything possible to bring him to justice.
I'd like to tell you about the project of the Council of Europe. In 1 month's time, there will be a register of damages in order to look at what kind of reparations will be demanded of Russia. Many of the member states, including EU member states, and I think the EU should join, will be collecting statements of damages from Ukrainian citizens in an office in The Hague and an office in Kiev. And I think this shouldn't just be about material damages, property, but also personal damage. And this should include the cases of children that have to be returned to their families, but their families have to get compensation.
The United States of America supports the position of the European Parliament and will work with EU to punish the perpetrators of violent acts against Ukrainian children.
We
have very close contact with our partners, both in the European Union and in other countries. We work together to ensure that those who commit crimes against humanity, those who commit these acts, they have been convicted. We can bring them to justice. There are different opinions, there are different ways of doing it, but the most important thing is that we work together.
The Ukrainian web portal Children of War has information about almost 20,000 children illegally taken to Russia. Vitaly Syzov from Brussels for the Freedom TV channel.